Now there's your dinner. Restaurant's Garage, Taryl speaking.
Oh, hey, Taryl. This is Carla. You sell those battery-powered chainsaws?
Yes, I sure do. I got a 12-inch Stihl I can sell you. Who's this for, Bob?
No, actually, it's for myself. I had a big dead tree blow over and I need to get it cut up.
Well, what's Bob doing? How come he can't cut it?
He's been depressed lately, ever since he heard on the TV that there might be a nationwide candy shortage.
Candy shortage? Okay. Do you even know how to operate one of these here chainsaws, darling?
No, I've never used one before, but I reckon they're not that hard to operate.
This battery-powered one would be perfect for you. How about we do this? How about I come over and show you how to operate it, since Bob's all depressed and all.
Okay, that sounds fine. I'll see you soon.
Well, here it is, darling. It's called the MSA 120C. And there's not much we have to do to put it together.
Okay.
This is the charger, and this is the battery.
Okay.
So I already went ahead and charged the battery for you. It's got the little button on there you push.
That's nice.
I was holding it upside down. And here's the charger, which is the type of charger you can hang it on the wall,
Okay.
or you can just set it on Bob's bench here.
That's good.
And you simply just slide it in
All right.
till it locks.
Well, that's easy enough.
And of course you got to plug it in.
Okay.
And then here's the saw itself. There's just a little bit we have to do to put it together. There's your owner's manual. It just covers the bar when you're not using it.
Okay.
The chain and the bar is all we have to put on. Now this uses little tiny 1/4-inch size chain. This is like carving chain. This is what like a carver would use. Somebody that wants to carve stuff. So maybe if Bob wants to get into carving. Quarter-inch. And this is what's called a 1/4 tip bar. Tip of that is about the size of a quarter. Got a quarter on you?
No.
If you put a quarter up there, it's the size of a quarter.
Okay, I believe you.
It's got a roller tip. And then here's the saw. And there's the manual. And it's got toolless adjuster. So when the chain gets loose, you can adjust it. So you just simply take this cover off. Move some of this stuff. Slide the bar on. Well, actually, we have to put this on the bar. Take the screw out. You put that on there. And then we need to tighten that with a screwdriver. So we found us a quarter, and as you can see, that's why they call it a 1/4 tip bar. It's about the size of a quarter. And they make one that's called a dime tip, which is even smaller yet. It's about the size of a dime. That's for carving.
All right.
In case Bob wants to carve. Put the chain on. And the cutter, this is the cutter, and that's got to be facing away from you like this. They even have a little picture, in case you get confused. There's a little picture right there that shows you which way the chain goes on. And then you put the other part of the chain around the clutch, and you turn this till it lines up with the bar stud. Just turn it until it lines up. Just keep spinning that wheel. Put the cover on. Don't tighten it down yet. Because you got to use this wheel to tighten it. Now that don't seem like it's locking in right. There we go. I see the chain's loose. Loosen that a little, and you turn that wheel, and that's what tightens it up. Now this is a chain brake. This is a safety. You have to have this pulled back, and then see, the chain will move. Now you should be wearing gloves when you do this, because this is very sharp. So once you get the right tension on there, you should be able to pull it up and it should snap back. And then go ahead and tighten this down. Flip that down. So this is a safety, Carla. In case you're cutting and you bump that or it kicks back on you, it stops the chain. So you don't injure yourself.
So it's like a brake.
Yeah, it's we'll call the brake. And it will not operate if that brake is on.
Okay.
And when you pull it back, you'll hear it click. Now it does have an oiler, so we have to put bar and chain oil in here. So you do have to put oil in there.
Okay.
So I brought a little bit that we'll put in there. And then you just pop the battery in, just like that. Push it all the way down until you hear it click. And then to remove it, there's a button back here to take the battery out.
Oh, that's nice.
And then it pops it right out.
Okay.
So make sure you hear it click all the way down.
Click twice.
Yeah, not like that, it ain't gonna work. So now the battery's in, showing we're fully charged. You just push the button in on the side and squeeze the trigger. And that's the brake. And that stops it.
Oh, that's nice.
Stops it that quick.
Okay.
Think you can handle this?
Yeah, I think so.
Here, hold it. See how heavy it is.
Well, it's not too bad.
Try pushing the button in and squeezing it. There you go.
Well, as soon as I let off, it pretty much stops too, so that's good.
So now we just got to put bar and chain oil in it.
Okay.
And you're going to have protective stuff on.
All right.
You're going to have to wear some goggles, and you should have gloves on
Okay.
when we go out to cut that tree. So that's all there is to it. Pretty simple. We just got to put some bar and chain oil in it. So the oiler tank has got a little window in it, so you'll know when it's empty. Right to the tippy top. You got your goggles?
Yeah.
And your gloves?
Sure do.
All right, there's a couple of things you need to know when you're cutting limbs off a tree like this.
Okay.
Now, some of these branches, they may have tension on them if they're pushed on the ground. And what that's going to do is if you start to cut into it, it's going to get, the saw is going to get pinched.
Okay.
But like this branch here, see, it's just hanging. So this one you can just cut right off. And then you want to get the saw right up to there. and then the weight of the limb will drop it down.
Okay.
And then like ones that got tension on them, see like this one?
Yeah.
That's got tension on it. So that one we're going to want to cut from underneath a little bit. So you just put the saw underneath. You see how the tension on it wants to push it away?
Yeah.
So when you do that, it's going to want to push back a little bit, so you got to push on it. And then this one here,
Yeah.
this one don't really have a lot of tension on it. But you can just cut these little branches off.
I think I'll step on it.
Well, that's why you got to cut close to it. Now we can just simply cut it off. So here, you want to try one? Try
Sure.
this one here.
All right. Which?
This branch. Cut it right here.
Okay.
Don't be scared.
It's my
Now
first-
make sure the saw is spinning first before you touch the wood.
Oh, okay.
Get it started. There you go. See how easy that was?
Oh, yeah. That
Here,
was
try
great.
this one behind you.
Okay.
And another thing, whenever you hold the handle, don't hold it like this. Make sure your hand and your thumb is wrapped all the way around it like that. I noticed you were already doing that, but that's how you should hold it, like that. That way you got a good firm grip on it.
Okay. Will I try this next one?
Yeah, and then when the logs start piling up like this so you don't trip over them, you should move them out of the way.
No burning problem.
Because they'll start piling up. Just take a minute, move them away. Get your fire pit.
Yep.
That way you don't trip over them. All right, cut that one. Very good.
Well, what about this one up
Go ahead, keep cutting them. You got this one sticking out, you can cut that one down a little bit. There you go. So always plan your move. Be ready to jump out of the way. There you go. There's your dinner. Try cutting that big one with the poison ivy on it.
Oh, great.
Look at you. You're a lumberjack now.
This thing works great.
You like it?
Yeah, I do. It's a nice little saw.
You gonna buy it?
Yeah, I think so. How much?
$299 is
Oh.
what they go for.
Oh, all right. That's a good fair price.
Let's cut this big one here. That's pretty good size. Now let's see how much juice we got left after all that cutting we just did. We use 1 bar.
Wow, that goes a long time.
You can always buy an extra battery. But yeah, it cut a pretty good diameter.
Look at how far in there. Look where it's like right in there. Look.
Now you're never going to want to touch the ground with the chain because that's going to dull it
Okay.
as soon as you get it in the dirt. So if you're cutting this thing up here, when you're cutting this part, you might want to prop it up on another log to hold it off the ground. But you should probably cut some of these little branches off first.
All right.
Now you got this hanging up. That's what your log's for. So now you're going to want to cut however long you want this, and then just keep moving it down. So that way you don't touch the ground with the chain. Now that one's sticking off the ground, so it's nice and quiet too.
Sure is. I like it.
And it'll always start as long as the battery starts.
That's great. Yeah, it seems real easy to work and it's a nice little tool.
So when the battery's dead, this light will flash to let you know. But look how much we cut on one charge with this little 12-inch. Look at all these cuts we made. Plus I did that carving in the tree. And we were able to cut this 8-inch diameter log. And this is 7-inch. So yeah, decent little battery powered saw. I know a lot of y'all don't like this battery powered stuff, but guess what? It ain't going away. It's here. So no use in fighting it. You might as well embrace it. And as far as putting me out of business, still got to buy chains and bar oil. Plus a lot of shops aren't working on this 2-cycle stuff anymore. So pretty soon you're going to have no choice. Battery. Shoot right through that wood.
Well, I definitely want to buy it, so why don't you come in the house and I'll get us something cold to drink and then I'll pay you.
Okay, great. I also got a gift for Bob. I'll give it to him when we're in the house. Hey, Bob. How things going?
Oh, hey, Taryl. Not too good, you didn't hear? There's a nationwide candy shortage.
Yeah, I did hear about that actually. Here, I brought you some.
Oh, thanks, Taryl. Oh, it's got peanuts in it. I got a peanut allergy. I can't eat this. You should have brought me some sour punch ropes or some Fun Dip. Thanks anyway.
Sorry, Bob. I didn't know.
You're gonna eat that, right? You better not let that go to waste. There's a nationwide candy shortage.
Yeah, I'll save it and eat it later. No big deal.
I don't know if I believe you, Taryl. Why don't you go ahead and eat that right here, right now?
Well, I would, Bob, but I'm really not hungry right now. Why don't you help me out here, Carla?
Just eat the candy bar.
This wasn't a paid endorsed video. We actually bought that saw from my brother Apparel at his shop because he's a Stihl dealer. Because Carla actually wanted a battery powered saw. So we went and bought one and thought, hey, let's do a little video on it. A lot of women out there might want to cut wood, and that would be perfect, pruning some tree limbs and stuff. Maybe your husband's busy working all the time. She can be out there cutting. Maybe she wants to go out there and cut. But this wasn't a paid advertisement. We just bought that saw and thought we'd do a video on it. Now there's your dinner.